Permanent Mistakes by Vivienne Black. Chapter 1. Fresh Start. Sasha knew she was making a mistake before she tasted tequila on Dylan's lips. The Silver Lake rooftop glittered with string lights stretched between rusted water towers, Los Angeles sprawling below in a promise of everything and nothing. Bass vibrated through her chest. She'd arrived in this city exactly 1 week ago with 2 suitcases and a destroyed resume. You're overthinking. Dylan leaned closer, and Sasha caught the scent of paint and cinnamon cigarettes. I can see it in your face. Right now you're running through at least 3 different disaster scenarios. 4. Sasha couldn't help smiling. I'm thorough. Dylan laughed, low, rough, the kind of sound that slid under skin and stayed there. She stood a head taller, undercut sharp, sleeves of tattoos disappearing under a worn leather jacket. Sasha had spotted her 40 minutes ago, drumming fingers against the parapet while talking to some Tumblr grunge girl. By the time Dylan approached, Sasha had memorized the curve of her wrists. Let me guess. Dylan set her palm on the railing next to Sasha's hand, not touching but close enough to feel warmth. New in town, fresh start, marketing or advertising job, perfect LinkedIn bio. But you come to parties where you absolutely don't belong, because part of you wants to be someone else. Sasha's throat went dry. I'm not that predictable. No? Dylan smiled like someone used to getting what she wanted. Everlane blouse, jeans that fit perfectly but not too provocatively. Makeup flawless but natural. And the sneakers? She glanced down. The sneakers say, I want to be spontaneous, but only if it doesn't mess up my plans. The sneakers were on sale. And you're incredibly presumptuous. That's accurate. Dylan reached behind them for 2 shot glasses of tequila, handed one to Sasha. But you're still here, so you must like it. She did. Sasha hated how much she did. She took the glass, their fingers brushing. Dylan caught her gaze and held it longer than necessary. In New York, Sasha knew how to manage these moments. Knew when to step back, smile politely, retreat to safe conversations about quarterly reports. But here, in a city where no one knew her, where her reputation wasn't already ruined, to new beginnings, Dylan said, fresh starts. They drank simultaneously. The tequila burned, and Sasha remembered the last time she'd drunk like this, in the New York agency office 3 months ago, after the CEO called her in. After she learned that the person she'd protected, defended, had told everyone that Sasha was the one who falsified the research data. After her LinkedIn filled with messages asking if she understood the word ethics. She set the glass down hard enough that it cracked. Hey, Dylan touched her wrist. You're here. With me. Not there. Sasha looked at her, at those dark eyes that had seen too much, at lips curved in knowing amusement, and something inside her loosened, not breaking, releasing. Want to see my studio? Dylan asked. 5 minutes from here. Sasha should have said no. Should have returned to her empty Beverly Hills apartment, rented at insane prices so the address would look right on her new resume. Should have prepared for tomorrow's first day at Apex Creative, the agency that agreed to take her on probation after 3 months of desperate calls and humiliating interviews. What kind of studio? Dylan tilted her head, studying Sasha's face like she was looking for something specific. I'm a tattoo artist, custom work. Designs that tell stories. Stories on skin. The most honest kind. Dylan traced the black and white rose on her own wrist. Skin doesn't lie. People lie, photos lie, resumes lie. But when you choose something permanent, you're choosing truth. Sasha had 0 tattoos. Her mother would say they were unprofessional. Her former boss would say they eroded client trust. Sasha herself had always found them too definitive for a life where she still didn't know who she wanted to be. I don't think I'm ready for a tattoo. I'm not offering you one. Dylan smirked. I'm offering to show you how they're made. Aren't you curious? Of course Sasha was curious. She'd built a career on curiosity, on studying people, understanding what drove them, what stories made them buy, believe, fall in love. Okay, show me. Dylan's studio sat above a vintage shop on Sunset. They climbed narrow stairs, and Sasha felt her heart hammering. From the climb, or from Dylan's proximity ahead of her, hips swaying in ripped jeans. Inside smelled of antiseptic and ink, walls covered in sketches, geometric patterns, organic forms, portraits. A chair like a dentist's but upholstered in black leather stood in the corner. In the dim light, the space felt intimate, almost confessional. Not your glass skyscraper office, right? Dylan went to a mini fridge and pulled out 2 beers. Handed one to Sasha. Much better. They drank in silence. One sketch caught Sasha's attention, a phoenix rising from geometric wreckage, half its wings made of perfect lines, the other half chaotic brushstrokes. Woman who divorced after 20 years, Dylan said, following her gaze. Wanted something that proved order and chaos could coexist. It's beautiful. So are you. Sasha turned. Dylan stood so close she could count the freckles on her nose, see gold flecks in brown eyes. I'm not looking for anything serious. The words came out before Sasha could stop them. I just moved here. I have a lot of problems. My life is a disaster. Perfect. Dylan's hand found Sasha's waist, thumb discovering the strip of skin between blouse and jeans. Because I don't do relationships, don't want someone's drama, don't want to be anyone's savior. Then what do you want? Dylan leaned in, lips a millimeter from Sasha's ear. Right now, I want to kiss you and see if you're real or just another girl pretending. Sasha grabbed Dylan's jacket collar and pulled her in. The kiss wasn't gentle. Dylan pressed her against the wall between sketches, hands rising into Sasha's hair, destroying the perfect styling. Sasha clawed at her back through the t-shirt fabric, and it was desperate, hungry, like they were both drowning and searching for air in each other's mouths. When they broke apart, breathing hard, Dylan was smiling. Real. Definitely real. Sasha laughed, feeling light for the first time in months. Maybe Los Angeles was the right decision. Maybe here she could be someone different, someone free. But fair warning. Dylan stepped back, wiping Sasha's lipstick from her mouth. I don't do relationships. At all. No dates, no meeting friends, no watching sunrises with fingers intertwined. I spend time with people while it's fun. Then we move on. No hard feelings, no expectations. Sasha nodded. I understand. Do you? Dylan studied her face. Because you look like someone who falls in love, who believes in forever. I used to. Sasha's voice came out quiet. Now I'm just trying to survive one day at a time. It was closer to truth than anything she'd said in months. Dylan nodded slowly, then kissed her again, softer this time, like sealing a deal. Then let's survive together. While it works, Sasha didn't know that such a fragile agreement would shatter tomorrow when she walked into the Apex Creative conference room and saw her. Emily, the only woman she'd ever loved and betrayed. The only woman she'd never been able to forget. But now, in this studio, kissing a woman with artist's hands and a player's philosophy, Sasha let herself believe a fresh start was possible, that the past would stay where it belonged, buried. Chapter 2. Ghosts. Sasha woke at 6 a.m. to an alarm that sounded like catastrophe. Her head pounded, not from hangover but from adrenaline still circulating after last night. She looked at the empty side of the bed. Dylan had left around 3 a.m. with a note on a napkin. You snore. It's cute. Don't call me, I'll call you. Sasha crumpled the note, then smoothed it back and put it in the nightstand drawer. Idiot. The shower was cold to wake her body and knock stupid thoughts from her head. Today was the first day. New job, new life, new version of Alexandra Morozova, who didn't fuck everything up. She chose a theory navy suit, white blouse, minimal makeup, hair pulled into a low ponytail. Professional, reliable, invisible. By 7:30, she stood in the elevator mirror of the Wilshire building, repeating, You're competent, you earned this. The past doesn't define you. A lie, of course. The past was the only thing that defined her. Apex Creative occupied 3 floors and looked exactly as Sasha expected. Open space, light wood desks, coffee machines at every corner, motivational posters with Steve Jobs quotes. Mandy from HR met her with a smile that never dimmed and gave her a tour, introducing every employee. This is your desk. Mandy pointed to a window seat with a city view. Coffee with milk or black? Black. Perfect. Right now the creative team is having their morning meeting. You'll be working with them on the Maxwell Automotive project. Big client, launching a new electric line. We have 30 days until the final presentation to their board. Sounds intense, but you've got this. 30 days. 1 month to prove she wasn't a mistake, that the New York scandal was an anomaly, that she deserved a second chance. Mandy led her to a conference room where the team had already gathered. Designers, copywriters, strategists, all with MacBooks and coffee cups. Sasha took a seat at the end of the table, opened her notebook, and tried to look confident. "Good morning, team." The voice came from behind. Sasha didn't turn immediately, writing something in her notebook, trying to look busy. "Today we have a new member, Sasha Morozova, marketing strategist from New York. She'll be leading analytics and positioning for Maxwell. Let's welcome her." Polite applause. Sasha looked up to nod thanks, and the world stopped. Emily, standing at the board with a marker, in a black dress and blazer, hair shorter than 7 years ago but eyes the same. Gray-blue, piercing, the same one Sasha had looked into when she lied. Emily, whose heart she'd broken for the right choice. Emily, who was here. Here. Sasha? The voice was level, professional, but Sasha caught the micropause, the tiny hitch of breath. She knew. Of course she knew. "Yes, sorry." Sasha cleared her throat, voice too high. "Thanks for the opportunity. Happy to be here." Emily nodded without smiling. "Great. So Maxwell Automotive. The client wants to position their new line as an environmentally conscious choice for young family audiences. Problem: the electric car market is oversaturated. We need to find an angle that sets them apart." Sasha didn't hear a word. Her mind was occupied with panic. This couldn't be happening. Of all agencies, all cities, all possible realities, why here? Why now? She glanced at Emily's left hand. Ring. Gold, simple, on the 4th finger. Of course. Emily got married. Emily built a life without Sasha. "Sasha, what do you think about demographics?" The question yanked her from her trance. Everyone was looking at her. "Sorry, didn't catch that." Emily repeated the question, looking straight at her, and in that gaze was so much anger, pain, something else Sasha couldn't decipher. "I think we need to study not just ecology but status." Sasha switched on autopilot. "Young families want to appear responsible, but also successful. We need to sell not a car, but an identity." Silence. Then one of the designers nodded. "That's good." Emily wrote something on the board, back to Sasha. "Good. Sasha, you'll work directly with me on audience segmentation. Everyone else, start with visual branding. Meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. People started gathering their things. Sasha wanted to run, but her legs wouldn't obey. "Sasha, stay a minute." Emily didn't turn around. The door closed behind the last employee, and they were alone. Emily turned, arms crossed. "When you applied, did you know I was here?" "No." Sasha stood, feeling like a schoolgirl being interrogated. "I didn't know, I swear. I've been creative director only 2 weeks, transferred from Seattle. I didn't know." Emily studied her face, and Sasha forced herself not to look away. 7 years ago, the last time they were this close, Sasha had said, "I can't. My family will never accept us. My career, I need the right path, Emily. I'm sorry." Then she'd gone on a date with Dimitri, son of a partner at a law firm, and posted a photo on Instagram, making sure Emily saw it. Now, standing in this conference room, she saw the consequences of that choice in every line of Emily's face. "This won't work." Emily's voice came out quiet. "We can't work together. Please. I need this job. You don't understand. After New York, I can't afford another failure. I'll handle the whole project." "You won't even notice me." "Won't notice you?" Emily laughed, bitter. "Sasha, I've noticed you every day for the last 7 years. Every time someone walked into a room wearing your perfume, every time I saw dark hair in a crowd, you think you can just show up here and I'll be professional? I thought you got married." Sasha pointed at the ring. "I thought you were happy." Emily looked at her hand, then back at Sasha. "Yes, I'm married. His name is David. We've been together 5 years. He's an architect. Good man." Each word was a blow. "Then what's the problem? We're adults. The past is the past." Emily moved closer, and Sasha caught the scent of her perfume, The same as 7 years ago, citrus with woody notes. The problem, Sasha, is that when you walked in this morning, all I could think about was how you looked waking up next to me. And that doesn't go away because there's a ring on my finger. The air between them grew dense. Emily, my straight you. But I'm not going to destroy my life over you again. Emily stepped back. We'll work together because I won't let you drive me out of my own career. But this will be strictly professional? Clear? Sasha nodded, throat tight. Clear. Good. Segmentation report on my desk by Friday. You can go. Sasha turned toward the door, hand already on the handle, when Emily spoke again. And Sasha? What happened in New York? I heard rumors, but Sasha didn't turn around. I took the fall for someone who didn't deserve it. Story of my life. She left without waiting for a response. The rest of the day blurred. Sasha sat at her computer, pretending to analyze data, but seeing only Emily's reflection on the screen. Around 6 p.m., her phone buzzed. Dylan, still alive after day 1? Sasha, alive. Barely. Dylan, good. I've got a break tomorrow night. Want to grab a drink? Sasha, yes, very much. Dylan, I'll let you know. And Sasha? Sasha? Yeah? Dylan, don't complicate it. Life's easier when you stay on the surface. Sasha set down her phone, looked at Emily's office, a glass box in the corner of the floor where she still sat, bent over something, backlit by a lamp. Surface. Right. If only it were that simple. She gathered her things and headed for the elevator, but passing Emily's office, she slowed. Their eyes met through the glass. Emily didn't smile, didn't look away, just watched. And Sasha understood with terrifying clarity. Nothing had stayed in the past. Everything was here, alive, breathing, waiting to explode. She stepped into the elevator. The doors closed, and the 30-day timer began its countdown. Chapter 3. 2 Worlds. By the 3rd day, Sasha understood she was living in 2 parallel realities. Dylan's world smelled of linseed oil and Turkish coffee. Rumpled sheets, walls covered in tattoo sketches, vinyl playing something jazzy and melancholic. In it, Sasha was just a body, skin, breath, pulse under Dylan's fingers. You're thinking about work again. Dylan kissed the curve between Sasha's neck and shoulder. They lay naked, limbs tangled, California sun slicing the room through broken blinds. No. Liar. Dylan traced fingers down Sasha's stomach. Here. And here. Her palm pressed over Sasha's heart. See? You're somewhere else. Sasha closed her eyes. Just the new job. A lot of pressure. Then fuck the pressure. Dylan rolled on top of her, hair falling like a curtain. Or let me fuck it out of you. Sasha laughed, though something in her chest pulled wrong. Dylan didn't ask questions, didn't demand explanations. That was her rule. Lightness, surface, no complications. And Sasha should have liked it. Should have. But when they had sex again, Sasha saw Emily on the back of her eyelids. Emily last night, leaning over the table showing some creative concept, their fingers hovering over the keyboard, close enough that Sasha felt the static between their skin but never quite touching. Emily, looking at her a second longer than necessary before turning away. When Sasha came, she bit Dylan's shoulder to keep from saying the wrong name. By Friday evening, 1 week into the job, Sasha had spent 16 hours in the office. The Maxwell team worked at high speed, 23 days until presentation, and the concepts still felt fuzzy. Sasha prepared 3 different audience segmentations, each with data, empathy maps, behavioral forecasts. This is good. Emily flipped through printouts. They were alone in the conference room, the rest of the team having left at 7. Now it was 9 p.m. Very good, actually. Sasha allowed herself a small smile. Thanks. You were always brilliant at analytics, even in college. Remember that consumer psychology project? Sasha remembered. They'd worked on it in Emily's apartment, surrounded by books and empty coffee cups, and at 3 a.m., when Sasha finished her section, Emily had kissed her for the first time. Gently, uncertainly, like a question. I remember. We got the highest grade. You got the highest grade. I just helped. Emily tilted her head. You always underestimated yourself. Even then, and you always overestimated me. Silence settled between them, heavy and dense. Why did you do it, Sasha? The question came without warning. What? Why did you leave? Emily stopped, searching for words. We were happy. At least I thought so. Then you just disappeared. 2 days later, you were dating that guy, posted the photo, like I meant nothing. It was complicated. Complicated? Emily laughed without humor. No, Sasha. Complicated is when you move to different cities, or when your family doesn't accept you, or when careers demand sacrifices. But you didn't even try. You just chose the easy path. It wasn't easy. The words came out louder than Sasha intended. She stood, walked to the window, stared at the Los Angeles lights. You think it was easy for me? My mother built her life on family reputation. My father expected me to marry the right person, build the right career. And her voice broke. I loved you, but I was scared. Scared that choosing you meant losing everything else. And what did you get instead? Sasha turned. Emily now stood too, hands clenched into fists at her sides. Did you get Dmitri? Marriage? Happiness? I didn't marry him. Sasha laughed bitterly. We broke up after 6 months. He was boring and narcissistic. My parents were thrilled. And you? I was nobody. Empty. Built a career to fill the hole where my heart should have been. Emily stepped closer. And now? Sasha looked at her, at this face she knew by heart. Now I'm trying not to repeat the same mistakes. And I'm one of those mistakes? The distance between them was less than a meter. Sasha could see the pulse in Emily's neck, fast, uneven. You were the only right thing I had, and I ruined it. Emily reached out, touched Sasha's cheek, and the contact burned. I thought I'd forgotten you, got married, built a life. But then you walked into that conference room, and she didn't finish, didn't need to. Sasha covered Emily's hand with her own. Emily, you have a husband. I know. I don't want to be the one who destroys everything. I know. But neither moved away. The conference room door opened, and they jumped apart like teenagers caught by parents. Oh, sorry. It was Mandy from HR with a box of donuts. Didn't know anyone was here. Just leaving breakfast for tomorrow's team. It's fine. Sasha grabbed her bag. I was leaving. She left without looking back, but felt Emily's gaze on her spine all the way to the elevator. Saturday morning, Dylan invited Sasha to an exhibition downtown, underground gallery in a converted warehouse, walls covered in street art, people in ripped jeans and leather jackets, beer in plastic cups. See that girl? Dylan nodded toward a woman with purple hair and a nose piercing. She does biomechanical tattoos, best in the city. Sasha nodded, trying to look interested, but her mind was still in that conference room, in that almost touch. Hey. Dylan turned Sasha's face toward her. You left again. Sorry. Don't apologize, just be here, with me. They stopped in front of a large canvas, abstract image of a female silhouette, half the body filled with geometric lines, the other half with organic, flowing forms. Like it? Dylan asked. It's beautiful. Chaotic but ordered at the same time. Just like you. Sasha looked at her. What? You try to be all structure and rules. Dylan traced the outline of Sasha's jaw. But inside you're wild. I see it when I fuck you. When you forget to control yourself. Sasha felt herself pulling back. Maybe I don't want to be wild. Maybe I want to be the structure. Dylan smirked, but something flickered in her eyes, too quick to catch. Then why are you with me? Good question. Excellent question. Because you don't ask anything complicated. Dylan's smile didn't quite reach her eyes this time. She turned back to the painting. Well, as long as we're on the same page. They left the gallery around midnight. Dylan offered to go back to her place, but Sasha lied about a headache. The truth was simpler and scarier. She couldn't have sex with Dylan when every touch reminded her of other hands, another body. At home, in her empty apartment, Sasha poured wine. Her phone buzzed. Emily, sorry about today, that was unprofessional. Sasha, we both were. Emily, we need to set boundaries. Sasha agreed, 3 dots showing Emily typing. Then they disappeared, appeared again. Emily, I can't stop thinking about you, and it's destroying me. Sasha stared at the screen, heart pounding. Sasha, we can't. Emily, I know. Sasha, you have a husband. I have. It's complicated. Emily, do you have someone? Pause. Sasha could lie, should lie. Sasha, sort of. Nothing serious. 3 dots. Long pause. Emily. Good night, Sasha. Sasha threw her phone on the couch like it burned. The next morning, Sunday, Dylan sent her a message with a photo, a tattoo sketch, a bird flying from a cage, but one wing still attached to the bars. Dylan, made this for you, if you're ever ready. Sasha looked at the image for a long time, a bird that wants 2 things at once. She didn't reply. Monday morning, when she entered the office, a note from Emily lay on her desk. Meeting in my office at 10. Need to discuss next project steps. Sasha folded the note and put it in her pocket. 21 days until presentation. 2 worlds, collision inevitable. Maybe the question wasn't who she wanted to be. Maybe it was who she was willing to stop being. Chapter 4. Cracks. 2 weeks in, and Sasha had forgotten who she'd lied to last. She sat in her car in a supermarket parking lot, gripping the steering wheel, trying to force her breathing normal. Her phone rang. Dylan, 3rd time in an hour. Sasha declined and texted. Sorry, meeting ran late. Call you later. The meeting had ended 4 hours ago. She'd actually spent those 4 hours at Emily's apartment, and it had been a mistake, a massive mistake, but she couldn't stop. It started 3 days ago. Innocently, if anything could be called that. They were working late on the creative concept at Emily's place because her laptop had crashed and she needed files from her home computer. David was away at a conference in San Francisco. Wine? Emily offered, opening the apartment door. Sasha should have said no, should have cited early morning health, anything. Yes, thanks. The apartment was minimalist and elegant, open plan, high ceilings, Scandinavian furniture, black and white photographs hung on walls, landscapes, architectural details, one of Emily on a beach, laughing, hair blowing in the wind. Did David take this? Yeah. He has a talent for moments. They worked at the kitchen table, laptops side by side, wine glasses between them. The concept was finally coming together, an idea around legacy, what we leave for the next generation. Sasha proposed the emotional angle, Emily the visual language. This works. Emily leaned back around midnight. God, this really works. Sasha smiled, feeling adrenaline surge. We're a team. Were. Emily looked at her. Always were. The moment stretched. Wine, late hour, proximity. Everything conspired against good judgment. Emily? I know. Emily stood, taking the glasses. You should go. But when Sasha stood, putting on her jacket, their hands touched, and this time neither pulled back. Tell me to stop, Emily whispered. Sasha didn't. The kiss was desperate, hungry, full of 7 years of unrealized longing. They fucked on the couch, on the floor, in the bed, everywhere they could reach, shedding clothes and the last remnants of self-control. Afterward, lying in darkness, Emily rested her head on Sasha's chest. This doesn't change anything. I know. I can't leave him. Not now. Too complicated. I know. But I can't stop. Not with you. Sasha ran fingers through Emily's hair. Then don't. Now, 3 days later, Sasha finally started the engine and drove to Dylan's. The studio was open, music playing inside. Sasha climbed the stairs, trying to formulate an explanation, a lie, something plausible. Dylan was with a client, a young guy getting a dragon tattooed on his back. She worked with focus, machine humming, ink flowing into skin. Hey. Dylan didn't look up. I'll be busy another 40 minutes. You can wait. The coldness in her voice was new. Sasha sat on the couch in the corner watching the process. Dylan moved with confidence, each movement precise, hands steady. When the client left, having paid and beamed with satisfaction, Dylan finally turned to Sasha. So. Want to tell me where you were? At work, I said. Don't lie. Dylan cut her off, wiping her hands. I stopped by your office tonight. Wanted to surprise you. Reception said you left at 6. I had a meeting. With who? A colleague. We were working on the project. Dylan laughed without mirth. Listen, Sasha, we're not in a relationship. I'm not your girlfriend. You're free to fuck whoever you want. But don't lie to me. That's the one thing that actually pisses me off. I'm not lying. Yeah? Then show me your phone. What? Show me your messages. If you were just working with a colleague, show me. Sasha stood. This is crazy. We don't have exclusivity. You said yourself. Yes, I said. Dylan stepped closer. I said I didn't want drama, didn't want to be someone's babysitter. But here's what's funny. I started feeling something for you. And that scares me, Sasha, because you're not here. Even when you're here, you're somewhere else, with someone else. Dylan, it's someone from work, right? That new creative director? Sasha froze. How did you? I saw how you look at your phone when messages come in, saw the name Emily. And last night when you were sleeping, your phone buzzed and the screen lit up. I can't stop thinking about today, from Emily. You were looking at my phone? It just lit up. Dylan raised her hands. Jesus, I wasn't spying. But now I know. And you know what's weird? I don't care that you're fucking someone else. I care that you're lying, that you're hiding. Sasha sat back down, face in her palms. It's complicated. She's married? Silence was the answer. Great. Dylan laughed bitterly. Of course she's married. And let me guess, you think you can save her. You'll reunite and it'll be like the romance novels. It's not like that. Then what? Sasha lifted her head. We were together, 7 years ago in college. I left her because I was scared. Scared my family would turn away, that my career would suffer, that I wouldn't fit the right picture, and I broke her heart. Now she's here, and everything I felt then came back, and I don't know how to deal with it. Dylan listened, arms crossed. And where am I in all this? You. Sasha searched for words. You're the one who makes me feel free, alive. You don't demand I be someone I'm not, but you're not choosing me. I'm not choosing anyone. Sasha stood. I'm trying to survive, not destroy my career, not lose my last chance to prove I'm not a complete disaster. Dylan approached, put hands on Sasha's shoulders. Listen to me, Sasha. I won't fight for you. Not because you're not worth it, but because you need to choose yourself first. Not me, not Emily, yourself. The life you want, not the one you think you should want. I don't know what that life is. Then figure it out. But don't drag me into this shit until you do. She released Sasha and stepped back. I'm not angry. I just can't be your distraction. Call me when you figure yourself out. If you figure yourself out. Sasha nodded, throat tight. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Just go. Outside in the car, Sasha turned on her phone. 12 missed calls from Emily. Last message. David is coming back tomorrow. I need to talk to you. Sasha called. Hi. Emily's voice sounded strained. What happened? Not over the phone. Can you come? Now? Yes, please. Sasha turned around and drove back. Emily's apartment was 40 minutes away. When she arrived, Emily met her at the door in pajamas, eyes red. He knows. Sasha froze. What? David. He saw the messages. I left my laptop open and she clenched her fists. He's flying home tomorrow, wants to talk. God, Emily. And that's not all. He's threatening to tell agency management, say we're having an affair, destroy my reputation. Sasha came inside, closed the door. He can't. He can. Emily sat on the couch, face in hands. He's an architect, works with our agency. He has connections. I'm risking everything, career, marriage, reputation. For what? For someone who left me 7 years ago. The words stung. Sasha sat next to her. I didn't leave you. You chose yourself. Emily lifted her head, eyes glistening. Like you should have, like I should now. But instead, I'm destroying someone else's life, my life, everything I built. For what? For us. There is no us. Emily stood. There are 2 broken women who can't let go of the past. I don't want to let go. And I don't want to be the cause of your next scandal. Sasha stood. What do you mean? Emily turned to her. New York. The firing. I did some digging, Sasha. You took the fall for someone, protected some intern who falsified data, and you said it was you. You always sacrifice yourself for others, for approval, to be the good girl. And now you're doing the same with me. That's not true. Then why are you here? Why not with that girl, the tattoo artist? Dylan, right? Why not choose the freedom she offers? Sasha went silent. Because, she stopped. I don't know. Because I'm familiar, safe. Because I represent the life you think you should want. Emily moved closer. But I can't be your path to redemption, Sasha. Find it yourself. What about you? What do you want? Emily touched her cheek. I want you to love yourself the way I love you. Because until you do, none of this is real. She kissed Sasha softly, like goodbye. Go home. Think about who you are when no one's around. Sasha left, shaking, and cried the whole drive home. At home, she found another message from Mandy HR. Reminder, Maxwell final presentation in 13 days. David Hart, Emily's husband, will attend as representative from partner architecture firm. See you at all meetings. Sasha stared at the screen. 13 days. And a collision she could no longer avoid. Maybe the question wasn't who she was. Maybe it was what she was willing to burn down to find out. Chapter 5. The Unraveling. Sasha learned the real truth about the New York scandal at 3 a.m. on the 12th day before presentation, standing in front of her bathroom mirror, when she realized she'd never told Emily the whole story. She'd said she took the fall for an intern. That was true, but not the whole truth. The intern was Sophie, 23 years old, first job, huge eyes and faith that hard work gets rewarded. They were working on research for a pharmaceutical client, and the data wasn't adding up. Sophie panicked. She had student loans, a sick mother, and this job was her ticket out of a Brooklyn studio apartment. I'll just round the numbers a little, she'd told Sasha 2 months before the catastrophe. No one will notice. The point is the same. Don't do it, Sasha had warned, if they catch you. But Sophie did it, and the CEO noticed. And when the interrogation started, Sophie came to Sasha in tears. I'll lose everything. Please. You're older. You have a reputation. Just once. This one time. And Sasha, who'd spent her whole life being the good girl, who saved, protected, sacrificed, said, I'll say I approved it, that it was my mistake. She thought she'd get a reprimand, maybe a demotion. She didn't expect Sophie, saved from firing, to tell everyone that Sasha had been solely responsible, that she'd falsified data from scratch, that she'd lied about the verification process. Sophie got promoted, Sasha got a disgraceful termination and the impossibility of finding work, because good girls never win. They just burn brighter when they're used. Morning came too early. Sasha arrived at the office before anyone else. On her desk lay an envelope, heavy paper, her name written by hand. Inside, a photograph. Her and Emily 2 nights ago through the apartment window. Kissing, hands in hair, silhouettes clear and undeniable. On the back. Meet me today, 6 p.m., Verve Cafe. Come alone, DH. David Hart. Sasha crushed the photo in her fist, heart pounding. He was back, and he had evidence. The whole day blurred. Sasha couldn't focus on work. Emily sent messages with questions about the concept, but Sasha responded in monosyllables. At lunch, Dylan texted, first time in 3 days. Dylan, my show is in a week, Friday night. Would love if you came. Sasha, that's the day of the Maxwell presentation. Dylan, I know, but if you find time, one of the pieces is for you. Sasha, for me? Dylan, the phoenix you saw. I finished it. It's called Becoming. You inspired it. Sasha stared at the message, something warm spreading in her chest. Dylan wasn't angry, wasn't demanding, just inviting. Sasha, I'll try to be there. Dylan, no pressure, but know the door is open. At 6 p.m., Sasha sat in the corner of Verve Cafe, waiting. David Hart arrived exactly on time, tall, athletic, in an impeccable suit. He was handsome in that clean, boring way Sasha had once considered reliability. Sasha Morozova. He sat across from her without offering his hand. Thanks for coming. I didn't have much choice judging by the photo. He smiled without warmth. Straight to the point. I like it. The waitress approached. They ordered coffee neither planned to drink. What do you want? Sasha asked. Interesting question. David leaned back. What I want. I want my wife to stop fucking her ex. I want my marriage not to be a joke. But we both know that's not an option, right? Sasha stayed silent. Emily talked about you, David continued, for years. Even after we got married, she thought I didn't understand. But I always knew I was the second choice. Plan B. The safe option after you left her. Then why did you marry her? He laughed. Because I loved her. Love her. And I thought it would be enough. Thought that over time she'd forget. But then you showed up here, and here we are. David, I don't want to destroy your marriage. Too late. He cut her off. It's already destroyed. But I have a proposal. He pulled another photo from his pocket. Sasha leaving Emily's apartment early morning, disheveled hair, clothes careless. I have about 10 of these, and message records. Technically, Emily doesn't have a password on her home laptop. Technically, I didn't hack anything. Sasha felt cold in her stomach. What do you want? The Maxwell presentation. 12 days from now. I'll be there as a representative from Baxter Architecture. We collaborate with your agency. And if you or Emily say a single word about what's been happening between you, if you so much as look at each other wrong, these photos go to Apex's CEO, all team members, and LinkedIn. Understood? Sasha swallowed. You want to destroy her career? I want her to understand the cost of her choices. His voice hardened. She wanted you? Fine. Now you both pay. And you know what's funny? Emily still thinks I don't know. She came home yesterday, hugged me, said she loved me, lied to my face. Maybe she was telling the truth. Maybe she loves you both. Then she needs to choose. He stood, placing $20 on the table. 12 days, Sasha. Act professionally. Do the presentation. And after, you can do whatever you want. But if you ruin this for Emily, if you destroy her reputation before she decides what to do with her life, I guarantee your next scandal will be the last in your career. He left, leaving Sasha sitting in a crumbling world. She didn't go home. Instead, she drove to Dylan's. The studio was closed, but light glowed upstairs. Sasha climbed, knocked. It's open, Dylan called. Inside, she was working on a sketch, headphones on, completely immersed. When she saw Sasha, she removed the headphones. Hey, didn't expect you. I needed to see you. Sasha closed the door, leaned against it. Everything's falling apart. Dylan set down her pencil. Tell me. And Sasha told her. Everything. Emily, David, the photos, the blackmail, New York, Sophie, how she always sacrificed herself for others, how she didn't know who she was when no one was around. Dylan listened without interrupting, and when Sasha finished, she approached and hugged her. You're not a disaster. You're just someone who forgot that life isn't about others. It's about you. I don't know how to be about me. Then learn. Start small. Dylan led Sasha to the table where the Phoenix sketch lay. See this? I made it thinking about you, a bird that burns and rises again. But notice, she doesn't become the same. The feathers are different, colors brighter. She doesn't return to what she was. She becomes something new. Sasha looked at the drawing, something clicking inside. I can't be who I was. No, you can't. Dylan turned Sasha's face toward her. But you can choose who to be next, and it doesn't have to be me. Or Emily. It has to be you. Sasha kissed her desperately, gratefully, and Dylan responded, but softer, as if understanding this wasn't about sex. This was about an anchor. Stay tonight, Dylan said. But not because you're hiding. Because you want to, I want to. They slept intertwined, and for the first time in weeks, Sasha didn't have nightmares. Morning, checking her phone, Sasha found a message from Emily. Emily, David talked to you, right? Sasha, yes. Emily, I'm sorry. I didn't know he would tried to control the situation. Sasha, we can't control this, Emily. It got out of control a long time ago. Emily, what do we do? Sasha looked at the message for a long time. Sasha, We do the presentation professionally. And then you decide what you want from your life, without me in the equation. Emily? And you? Sasha, I'm learning to choose myself. Typing dots, appeared, disappeared, appeared again? Emily, I love you. Always have. Sasha, I know. But love without choice is just longing, and I'm tired of longing. She turned off the phone and looked at sleeping Dylan. 11 days until presentation. 11 days to become someone new. Chapter 6, Collision Course. On the 7th day before presentation, Sasha received an email from Apex CEO. Subject, private lunch invitation, Maxwell Automotive Sasha. Maxwell's board of directors will be in town Thursday for preliminary meeting. They'd like to meet key team members informally. Emily Hart and you have been selected to attend. David Hart from Baxter Architecture will also be present. Please confirm attendance. Richard Chen, CEO Sasha, stared at the screen, stomach twisting into knots. Thursday, day after tomorrow. Her, Emily, and David at one table, pretending to be professionals while everything crumbled inside. She clicked accept and closed the laptop. The office atmosphere was tense. The team worked to exhaustion. Final concept almost ready, but details gnawed at everyone. Sasha spent 2 full days studying data, refining messaging, checking every number 3 times. She couldn't afford a mistake. Not now, not after New York. Emily was cold and professional. They communicated only through email or at group meetings, never alone. It was smart, it was safe, it was killing. Wednesday evening, when the office emptied, Sasha stayed to finish slides. Around 10 p.m., she heard the sound of an opening door. Emily entered, in jeans and a sweater, hair casually tied. Thought I'd find you here. Sasha didn't turn from the screen. Not the best idea, Emily. I know. But tomorrow's the lunch, and I needed to hear your voice. Real, not over email. Sasha saved the file and turned. What do you want me to say? Emily approached, sat on the edge of the desk. Say this isn't the end, that after the presentation we'll have a chance. A chance for what? Sasha stood, crossing her arms. You're still married. Your husband is blackmailing us. My career is hanging by a thread. What chance are you talking about? I filed for divorce. The words hung in the air. Sasha stared at her. What? This morning. I met with a lawyer, filed the papers. Emily ran her hand over her face, looking exhausted. David doesn't know yet. He'll get them tomorrow, but it's done. Jesus, Emily. I can't live a lie anymore. I loved him. Really. But not the way I should. And keeping him in a marriage where he'll always be second, it's cruel. To him and to me. Sasha sat back down, legs giving out. So tomorrow he'll find out. And if he wants to destroy me, let him destroy me. I'm tired of being afraid. Sasha looked at her, at this woman who'd always seemed so confident, so complete, and saw someone as broken and brave as herself. You know I'm not the reason. You can't do this for me. I'm not doing it for you. Emily smiled sadly. I'm doing it for myself. Because even if we don't end up together, even if you choose Dylan or someone else, I deserve to live honestly. They sat in silence, surrounded by monitor light and night city sounds beyond the window. Dylan invited me to her show, Sasha said, Friday, on presentation day. Will you go? I don't know. Presentation is at 3 p.m. Show opens at 7. I could make both. Or, Emily leaned closer. You could choose. Choosing is what I'm worst at. Then practice. Emily stood, headed for the door, then turned. And Sasha, whatever you choose, I won't be angry. You deserve happiness, even if it's not with me. She left, leaving Sasha in an empty office with words echoing like goodbye. Thursday's lunch took place at a rooftop restaurant overlooking the ocean. Sasha arrived 15 minutes early, nerves at their limit. Emily was already there, in a strict black dress, talking to 2 men from Maxwell. She looked calm, but Sasha noticed her hands trembling when she lifted her water glass. David came last, in a navy suit, smiling as if this were just a business lunch. He kissed Emily on the cheek, and Sasha saw her freeze. "David, this is Sasha Morozova, our strategist," Emily introduced, voice level. "We've met." David shook Sasha's hand, holding it slightly longer than necessary. "Nice to see you in a professional setting." They talked. Sasha smiled. Under the table, her leg wouldn't stop shaking. The Maxwell directors asked about demographics, market positioning, competitive advantage. Sasha answered on autopilot, her voice steady even as her hands gripped her napkin tight enough to tear it. Emily presented creative direction with perfect composure, but Sasha caught the micro-pause before each sentence, the way her eyes never quite focused on anyone. David watched them both like a predator studying prey. When dessert arrived, one of Maxwell's directors turned to David. "How's your wife handling the new project? Must be intense." David smiled, but the smile didn't reach his eyes. "Emily always handles things. She's the type who never lets anyone down. Though," he added, now addressing Sasha, "interesting to work with old friends, right? You and Emily knew each other before?" Sasha's heart stopped. "We went to the same college," Emily answered calmly. "Long time ago. Small world." The director nodded. "Always better to work with those you trust." Trust. The word hung over the table, poisonous. When lunch ended, Sasha left first, citing a call. In the parking lot, she stood by her car trying to catch her breath when she heard footsteps. "Sasha. David." She turned. "What?" He approached closer, hands in pockets. "Emily filed for divorce." "I know." "You know?" He laughed. "Of course." "She told you first." "Not me. Her husband." "David. Got the papers this morning." He cut her off. "Signed, sent. Like 7 years of marriage is just a contract to terminate. You said she had to choose." "I wanted her to choose me." His voice rose, then he caught himself. "But she chose you. Again. She didn't choose me. She chose herself." David looked at her for a long time, something changing in his face. "You know what's funny? I'm not angry at her. I'm angry at you. Because you walked into her life, turned everything upside down, and now you're not even sure you want her. I saw how you look at your phone, saw Dylan's name. You have someone else, and Emily is destroying her life for you." "I never asked, doesn't matter." He turned to leave, then stopped. "Presentation on Friday. I'll be there. And if you think for a second you can play with her while deciding what you want, I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. A selfish coward who destroys everyone around her." He left, leaving Sasha standing in the parking lot, words cutting deeper than any threat. That night, Sasha couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, replaying every moment, every choice. She called Dylan. "Hi." Dylan's voice was sleepy. "Everything okay?" "No, nothing's okay. Want to come over? Can I just talk?" "Of course." And Sasha told her about David, about Emily, about how she destroyed everyone she touched. Dylan listened, then said, "You know what your problem is? Enlighten me. You think love is about choosing another person, but it's not. It's about choosing yourself and inviting someone to share that life. Emily isn't destroying her marriage for you. She's doing it because the marriage was wrong. You're just the catalyst. And you? Who are you to me? Me? I'm a mirror. I show you who you can be when you stop pretending." Pause. "But I can't be your solution, Sasha." "Only you can be that. See you at the show? If you choose to come." Dylan's voice was soft. "The door's open. Always will be." She hung up, and Sasha remained in darkness, counting hours until the collision that would change everything. 2 days until presentation. 2 women, both waiting for her choice. And Sasha, finally understanding that the only choice that mattered was the one she made for herself. Chapter 7. The presentation Friday morning began with a text from Dylan at 6 a.m. "Dylan, whatever happens today, remember, you're stronger than you think." Sasha looked at the message, sitting on the edge of her bed in a half-dark bedroom. Outside the window, Los Angeles was waking, the city pinking with dawn. She hadn't slept all night rehearsing the presentation, but mostly rehearsing versions of herself. The one who'd choose Emily, the one who'd choose Dylan, the one who'd run from both. None felt right, because none were about her. Apex's office was electrified. Today was the culmination of a month's work. Final presentation to Maxwell Automotive's board. Success meant a multi-million-dollar contract. Failure meant Sasha didn't want to think about failure. The team gathered in the conference room by 10 a.m. for final check. Emily stood at the board in a strict gray suit, hair pulled back, makeup flawless. She looked like someone ready for war. "Okay, team," she began, voice clear and commanding. "Today we're showing them not just a campaign. We're showing them the future. The legacy Maxwell leaves for the next generation. Sasha, you open with data. Then I present creative. Jack, media plan. Questions." Everyone was silent. Everyone understood the stakes. Sasha caught Emily's gaze for a fraction of a second. In it were fear, determination, and something else. Apology? Goodbye? Great. They'll be here at 3. Until then, final edits. The room dispersed. Emily held Sasha back. "Can we talk?" They went to Emily's empty office, closed the door. "David will be here today." Emily stood by the window, back to Sasha. "With those photos. I feel it. Then let him." Sasha moved closer. "You filed for divorce. You already made your choice. But he can destroy your career. After New York, you won't survive another scandal. Maybe I won't. Or maybe it'll be liberation. Stop hiding. Stop sacrificing myself for others' approval." Emily turned, eyes red. "I destroyed my life for you. Divorce. Reputation. Everything." "No." Sasha stood. "You destroyed a life that was a lie. That's not the same thing. And us, after today. What about us?" Sasha looked at her, at this woman she'd loved 7 years ago who represented everything she wanted and feared. "I don't know. I don't know who I am when I'm not trying to be what others expect. And until I know, I can't be with anyone. Even you." Tears ran down Emily's cheeks. "So I'm losing you again." "You're not losing me. You're letting me become who I'm supposed to be." Sasha touched her face. "And if, when I become her, you still want this V, we'll talk. But right now, today, let's just do the damn presentation. Show them what we're capable of." Emily nodded, wiping her eyes. "Okay, the damn presentation." At 3 p.m., the conference room was full. Maxwell's board of directors. 5 people in suits, tablets in front of them. Apex's CEO, Richard Chen, the Apex team. And in the corner, arms crossed, face unreadable, David Hart. Sasha felt his gaze on her as she set up the presentation. Emily opened the meeting. "Welcome. Today we're presenting the Legacy campaign. The idea that Maxwell isn't just a car, it's a decision about the future we leave our children. Sasha?" Sasha approached the screen, deep breath. "The numbers speak clearly. The electric car market is growing 30% annually. But consumers aren't just buying ecology, they're buying identity. That's where Maxwell wins." She took them through the data, segmentation, demographics, emotional triggers. It was clear, compelling, undeniable. She saw board members nodding, taking notes. Then Emily took over. "Visually, we're building on contrast, past and future, chaos and order. The legacy we received and the one we're creating. Watch." Slides flowed, stunning images, emotional stories, a concept both bold and accessible. The room was silent. Good silence. "Questions?" Emily asked. The board chairman leaned forward. "This is brilliant. The best we've seen. But I have a question about the team." Sasha's heart dropped, specifically about integrity. He looked at David. "Mr. Hart, you work with Apex. Do you have concerns about this campaign?" Everyone turned to David. Sasha saw his jaw tense, saw his hand move to his jacket's inner pocket, where the photos were. Time slowed. Emily stood. "Before Mr. Gainen." Hart answers, "I need to say something." "Emily," Richard began. "No, this is important." She turned to the board. Sasha and I knew each other in college. We were in a relationship. It ended, but when she showed up here, old feelings returned. I'm currently divorcing. Partly because of this, partly because my marriage was wrong from the start. Shock rolled through the room. But, Emily continued, voice firm, this has nothing to do with the work we've done. This campaign is the result of talent, data, and passion from a 12-person team. If you want to judge Maxwell by my personal life, that's your right. But you'll lose the best campaign you'll see this year. The silence was deafening. David stood. She's right. His voice cracked. The campaign is brilliant. Everyone turned to him. Sasha and Emily, they're complicated people. They destroyed my life. He looked at Emily, something breaking in his face. But they didn't destroy this work. It's professional. It's good. And if you don't take it because of personal drama, you're idiots. He walked out of the room, door slamming behind him. The board chairman cleared his throat. Well, that was unexpected. We appreciate your honesty, Miss Hart. Give us a moment to discuss. The board left. The Apex team sat in shock. Richard turned to Emily. You understand what you just did? Yes, I chose honesty. This could cost you your job. I know. Sasha stood. If anyone loses their job, it should be me. Emily isn't to blame. Sasha, don't. Emily grabbed her hand. Don't sacrifice yourself again. They looked at each other, and in that gaze was everything. Love, pain, liberation. The board returned after 10 minutes. We're unanimous, the chairman said. Maxwell goes with Apex. Campaign launches in January. But, he looked at Emily, we expect the highest professionalism going forward. You'll get it, Emily answered. When everyone dispersed, Sasha and Emily remained in the empty room. You didn't have to do that. I did. I'm tired of lying. What now? Emily smiled sadly. Now you go to Dylan's show. She's waiting for you. Emily. Go, Sasha. Choose yourself. At least once. Sasha kissed her. Short, tender, like goodbye and promise simultaneously. Thank you. For everything. She left the office, walking toward the elevator, toward a future that for the first time didn't feel written by others' expectations. Her phone buzzed. Dylan, show in an hour. Will you be there? Sasha, on my way. And Dylan? Thanks for waiting. Dylan, for you, always. Sasha stepped into the elevator. Doors closed, and she felt something inside her unfold, a phoenix, ready to fly. Chapter 8. Becoming 3 months later, Sasha sat in her new office, a tiny space in Santa Monica, just 2 rooms, but they were hers. A sign hung on the door, Moraz Consulting, honest strategies for authentic brands. Not the most elegant name, but honest. That was the whole point. After Maxwell, everything changed. Apex offered Sasha a promotion, but she declined. Emily got her own agency and supported Sasha's decision to leave. They exchanged messages sometimes. Friendly, without pressure, without drama. Just 2 women who'd known each other in a specific moment and let go so both could grow. David signed the divorce papers without a fight. Rumors circulated, but Sasha found she cared less what others thought. Her career didn't collapse. In fact, 3 clients followed her from Apex, impressed by her honesty during Maxwell. Small victories, authentic victories. Her phone buzzed. Dylan, coffee tonight? Want to show you a new sketch. Sasha, yes, your place or mine. Dylan, mine. I have pastries, Sasha smiled. She and Dylan weren't together, not officially. But they were in each other's lives, friendship, sometimes more, but without pressure, without expectations. Dylan had taught Sasha to be in the present, not grasping at the future. Sasha, your 2 o'clock client, Mara called, the assistant Sasha had hired a month ago. Coming. The client was a startup founder creating a mental health app. They spent an hour discussing positioning, audience, marketing ethics. When she left, she said, "You know why I chose you? Because you didn't promise me the moon. You promised me truth, and that's rare." Sasha felt warmth in her chest all the way home. Evening, at Dylan's studio, they sat on the floor among sketches, drinking coffee from cups labeled "Art Hurts." Here. Dylan handed over a sheet of paper. For you. It was the phoenix. The the same one Dylan had shown months ago. But now it was finished. Wings spread, fire and ash around, but the bird itself was calm, eyes open. "It's called Becoming," Dylan said. "But I think maybe you'd want a different title." "What?" "Sasha." Sasha laughed, eyes moistening. "That's too narcissistic." "No, it's honest." Dylan traced the drawing with her finger. "You burned. You rose again. You became who you were supposed to be all along." "I still don't know who that is. Every day I learn something new. What I like, what I don't like, what I want to build." "Good. That means you're alive." Dylan put her hand on Sasha's knee. "And you know what? I'm proud of you. Not everyone can start from scratch at 30. 32. Even better. Wiser." They sat in comfortable silence that didn't need filling with words. "Want to stay tonight?" Dylan asked. "I do, but not because I'm hiding, because I want to be here." "Then stay." A week later, Sasha received a letter from Emily. Not email, a real letter in an envelope with a seal. "Dear Sasha, my agency officially opens next month. I wanted to invite you to the launch, but realized it might be strange. Instead, I'm writing to say thank you. Thank you for being the catalyst, for showing me I was living halfway, for giving me the courage to choose myself, even if it meant losing you. I met someone. Her name is Rachel. She's an architect, ironically. But this time it's different. I'm choosing her with open eyes, not running from someone else. I hope you're happy. I hope you found yourself. With love and respect." Emily Sasha folded the letter, placed it in her desk drawer next to the Phoenix sketch. The past, but not forgotten, transformed. Friday evening, 4 months after the presentation, Sasha sat in a Venice Beach cafe, working on a proposal for a new client. The sun was setting, painting the sky in orange-pink streaks. "Excuse me, is this seat taken?" Sasha looked up. A woman around 35, in glasses, with a book under her arm. "No, go ahead." They sat in silence for a few minutes. Then the woman laughed at something in her book. "Sorry." She looked at Sasha. "This book is absurd, but so good." "Which one?" She showed the cover, a science fiction novel about time travel. "You like sci-fi?" Sasha asked. "Love it. The idea that you can go back and fix mistakes, though in reality that'd probably be a disaster, right?" Sasha smiled. "Yeah, but in reality we just move forward, become better. Wise." The woman extended her hand. "I'm Ava, by the way. Sasha." They shook hands, and something in the touch was familiar but new. Not desperate, not loaded, just possibility. "Do you come here often?" Ava asked. "Started recently." "Opened my own business, looking for new places to work." "Oh, congratulations! What kind of business?" "Marketing consulting, for brands that want to be honest." Ava smiled. "That's rare, honesty in marketing. Exactly why I do it." They talked for an hour about books, work, Los Angeles. It was easy, effortless. When Ava stood to leave, she said, "Maybe I'll see you here again? I'd like that." "Here." Ava wrote a number on a napkin, "in case you want to discuss more sci-fi or honest marketing." Sasha took the napkin, smiling. "I'll definitely text." When Ava left, Sasha looked at the sunset, at the ocean stretching to the horizon, full of endless possibilities. Her phone buzzed. "Dylan, how was your day?" Sasha, "Good. Met someone at the cafe, maybe a friend, maybe more. Don't know yet." Dylan, "Great. Let it unfold." Sasha, "That's exactly what I'm doing." She closed her laptop, gathered her things, and headed home. On the way, she passed a tattoo parlor, stopped. 40 minutes later, she emerged with a bandage on her wrist. Under it, fresh ink, still painful, was a small phoenix. Simple lines, no frills. Permanent. Hers. The pain felt like proof. When she got to her apartment, she stood before the mirror, looking at her reflection. Not the girl who'd fled New York. Not the one who sacrificed herself for approval. Not the one who chose safety over truth. Just Sasha. Imperfect, evolving, but finally whole. She smiled at her reflection. "Hi," she whispered. Nice to finally meet you. And for the first time in a long time, she really meant it. Epilogue. 1 year later, Sasha stood on the TEDx Santa Monica stage, facing an audience of 300 people. 3 years ago, I lost everything, she began. Career, reputation, sense of self. And I thought it was the end. She paused. But it was the beginning. Because in losing myself, I learned who I'd never really been. I was a construction. A version I thought I had to be loved, successful, worthy. The slide behind her showed the phoenix, Dylan's sketch, now her company logo. Today I want to talk about becoming, not about finding yourself, because that implies you're lost, but about becoming. The daily choice of who to be, the courage to let go of what you're not. In the audience, she saw faces, Dylan in the third row, smiling, Emily in the back row, holding Rachel's hand, Mara, her assistant, taking notes, and Ava, yes, Ava, who'd become more than a coffee acquaintance, more than a friend, something new and beautiful unfolding slowly. I won't tell you it was easy, won't say you won't hurt. You will hurt. You'll lose people. You'll doubt yourself. She smiled. But you'll become real, and that's worth everything. Applause filled the hall, and when Sasha came down from the stage, Ava met her with a hug. You were amazing. Thanks for coming. Always. Dylan approached, hugged Sasha from one side, Emily from the other. Group of proud exes, Dylan joked. Not exes, Emily corrected. Family. Strange, complicated, but family. Sasha looked at these women, each representing a part of her journey, each helping her become who she was. Thank you, she said, for everything. They walked out together into the California evening, and Sasha felt something she hadn't felt in years. Peace. Not because everything was perfect, but because she was finally herself. She smiled at the sky, at Ava's hand in hers, at the future she couldn't predict but no longer feared. And that was more than enough.